Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hush Hallows, a Monster of the Week story here on Dice Priori. I am Matthew Foreman. I will be playing Oak Williams tonight, the Spellslinger. I use he, him pronouns, and so does Oak. Just a couple quick channel announcements before we roll into it and start with the introductions. We have community theater coming back real hot this Saturday, the 29th. You're going to be seeing Mouse Guard. It's going to be some familiar faces there from past community theater events, and they are going to be playing Mouse Guard, which, for anyone who doesn't know, is a slightly more simplified Burning Wheel system game, and it's super good. Burning Wheel is like crunchy, but it's a beautiful crunch. It's not like old style gets in the way of the game. It's very like interesting and exciting. So be sure to check it out. And if you've never seen Mouse Guard or Burning Wheel in action before, be sure to tune in and get a load of the beautiful crunch. Yeah. As always, be sure you are following the channel. If you're already following, consider subscribing. If you're already subscribed, consider gifting the subscription. Also, be sure to follow us on our subscribe to our YouTube and follow us on our socials and join our Discord. We appreciate your support here at Dice Priori. Take it away, Maria.
Hey, it's me. I'm back. Hello, I'm Maria. I can be found on Twitter and the other socials at Happy Capture. I use they, she pronouns. And tonight, finally, I'm back with Hektor, who uses he, him pronouns and has been unconscious for quite some time. He uses the Mad Scientist playbook. I'm going to give it to Alexis.
Hello, I'm Alexis. You can find me at VoxFanato on Twitters and such. And I use she, her pronouns. And this evening, I will be playing Darlene Gray, who uses the Hex playbook and also uses she, her pronouns. You can find me here Tuesdays for this. And I'm easing back into Alexis Attempts Art, so stay tuned on socials. I will post when I go live, but I'm trying to do every Friday. We'll see how it goes. Kaya.
Well, hey everybody, I'm Kai Gasson. You can find me on a Twitter sphere at Crit Charisma. I am only here on Tuesdays, and it is the light of my week. I play Isabeau Hauer, the pararomantic playbook for now? Question mark? 'Cause drama. I use she, her pronouns, as does my character, and I'm not nervous about tonight at all, but let's toss it over to the gorgeous Emma.
Salutations and greetings.
You can only
I'm
use
Emma.
that voice.
No. I'm Emma. You can find me at MK Hansen on Twitter. I use she, her pronouns, and tonight I am playing Lucy Doe, who also uses she, her pronouns, and I'm using the Monstrous playbook. Take it away, Matthew. Or not. Someone else. It's Ty.
I think it's me.
It's Ty.
I'm pretty
Okay.
sure it's me. I think
Take it over,
everyone wins.
Ty.
Take
Okay,
it from us.
great. We're doing
Ty.
great.
You can find me at Ballroom Brawler on Twitter. I'm here on Tuesdays. I'm also at Mythos Mystery Society. On Sundays, we've been playing Rock City of Blood, a Castlevania game, which the episodes are going to go up on YouTube pretty soon, and podcasts. So if you like gothic horror and comedy, it is a pretty fun game. And I am running this game as the keeper. Last week on Hush Hallows, the party finally got to rest a little bit after their intense fight with a monster that they had been hunting for several weeks. The party did some research together, conversed as well about what was going on with Cal as he was still unconscious after the battle, and Isabeau, whose physical form has now changed a little bit to include elongated canines and a little kind of dazzle of orange in her eyes. Hektor remained asleep. Darlene had some fun on the town. And I think that's about it. So we are going to resume with Hektor.
It's me.
Hektor,
Hello.
you are unconscious. You remember the odd events in the forest. You remember traveling back to Nana's alone, trying desperately to get into the basement, but passing out from exhaustion, and your wounds shortly thereafter. As you sleep, you don't have any sort of steady dreams. At one point, it feels like you just opened a very warm oven close to your face, just a quick burst of heat. But before you wake in this empty dreamscape, you hear a voice. Hektor! And then you wake up.
My dreams tonight.
All right. Yeah, I think with that, Hektor like bolts straight up from wherever he's sleeping.
Where'd you guys put his body?
Where did you put him?
We've
Probably on the floor.
No, like we probably got everybody nice and comfy on. I think Hektor had a bed, didn't he? In the lab or something? Or no?
Yeah, he had a cot in there, but it wouldn't have been open.
You guys
The
didn't get
booth.
into the lab.
Yeah.
You're
The
probably
booth,
in one of the
then.
booths.
Yep.
Cool.
You're comfy.
Okay. Yeah, he would just kind of like jolt awake, and if it's like a booth that has like a table, he'd probably just put an arm on it and just be like, ah! This glass is all askew.
I think you are in the main room of Nana's. People are around, I believe, where we left off. So you all see Hektor shoot awake.
Oh, thank God I didn't kill you.
What? Was that a concern?
For a bit.
Sit up. Just reach up and kind of rub his shoulder a little bit. Hello. Good morning. Is it morning?
Is it morning?
It's like 1:30 p.m. I think now.
Nope.
2.
I'll do what all dads
That's-
do. You
that's
mean
morning
good
for us.
afternoon?
It's true. It's true.
It is morning for us.
He'll just kind of turn and is there coffee anywhere? Is there the aroma of coffee?
I believe Darlene or Lucy made it.
Cool.
And pancakes and bacon.
Yeah, there's food.
Gotcha. He would very slowly scoot out of the booth and like stand up, supporting himself, making sure he could in fact stand. And then he would slowly walk towards wherever coffee is.
And you do. I think Lucy at least is still there. Probably Darlene and Oak as well.
Hello. Hello.
How you feeling?
A lot better than I should be.
Oh, I'm so glad you're awake. I think it's time we finally meet. My name is Darlene.
Hektor, hello. He
I'm
reaches forward for a handshake.
So sorry about the scar.
What?
And you feel
Well-
the pain on the back of your arm or your shoulder, I believe is what we discussed.
The what?
You were unconscious and
I do remember that part.
here and you I'm going to the wrong accent. And you sure were very hurt for a while there. And I'm new to this healing thing. But I did my best. Got you at least a bit stitched up.
Pleasure to meet you. Thank you. And just kind of reach for coffee with like a hand still looking like towards her and kind of looking towards his shoulder, and I'm sure like shuffling through mugs and stuff, trying to grab onto something.
I'll kind of offer. Darlene will kind of offer some support to Hektor.
Thank you. I'm still a little confused about, well, why, wow. And he's just gonna slowly just start drinking this coffee, which I'm sure has been made, like, if I remember correctly, you made it like a couple of hours ago. Cool. He'll still like just slowly start to drink it and just kind of look, at everyone, trying to like remember, okay, I have met all of these people. Perfect. I've met, yep. Darlene is new. Perfect.
Hector, do you not remember coming back here?
I remember trying to get downstairs. And he'll just kind of like pat around in his coat pocket for that syringe that he had, with a moment of like, oh shit, do I have that thing that I almost died for?
Yeah, you pull out a syringe. It is clearish jelly from the eyeball. That's what you can see right now looking at it.
Real nice.
It's real good.
Delicious.
He looks at that, and then he looks towards Oak, and Lucy, and I guess the rest of you, and said, what did you all do while I was gone?
Oh. Well,
yeah.
I just kind of got thrust into the middle of, y'all had found some kind of spooky something or other going on in that there forest, and so I just kind of assisted, but we found it and we dealt with it.
We found the source of your zombies.
Big old tree that was a lot of teeth in the bark and stuff, and not bark, but like meat and eating things, and it was all kinds of not good, creating its own zombies with these like flowers that it had, and it was real bad news, but we took care of it.
Yeah, and I'll just say not without consequence, and kind of gesture towards an unconscious Cal whose head is in my lap.
And you can see a small, Hector, you would recognize probably from the bodies you were examining. There's a small hole in the back of his neck.
Oh. How is he?
Well, that tree had tried to zombify him, and I kind of told it no.
Mm-hmm.
But again, new to me, I've never had to not zombify somebody before, so
and he's just going to start walking towards Cal, like immediately as Darlene is talking. He's just like beelining towards Cal, kind of dropping off the coffee mug to whoever is closest, probably just handing it to Darlene.
I have cut off a limb from a zombie bite, but this was different. You can't really cut the neck off. Doesn't work.
Hector, I don't want to overwhelm you. I know that you weren't.
Hector's already in. He's already like 100% invested in this thing to make sure that this isn't actually a zombie on your lap.
I mean, he's a little cooler. He's not like cold. There are a lot of questions, and she'll kind of just look at you.
Cool. I want to see if this is in fact a zombie or something that I would recognize as like en route to the other side.
Are you using one of your special abilities? Or are you kind of just using science?
I think I'm just I think I'm just using my brain.
Okay, it'd be weird. It basically like either sharp or weird +1 for area study.
Okay. 8. Wait, no, that's a lie. 10.
Okay, yeah. You examine the wound with whatever you have on you, I guess. And there is the hole in the back of his neck, but there is no trace of that root or flower that you saw previously. And he is breathing at a regular pace, but is a little cool. Probably like comparative human temperature, actually, from what you're used to, but knowing what Isabeau and Cal have told you and you know about them, it is probably cooler than usual.
Does Hektor know about them? I don't know. Have we had that discussion?
I don't know about anything about Cal. I don't think anything was. I think
we never got the
Isabeau
chance to
did
talk.
something fire related around Hektor, if I'm not mistaken. But
Okay.
as far as Hektor knows, Cal is like a normal dude.
Okay. Then yeah, he feels fine.
fine.
No temperature. No, his temperature feels normal. Just you see the wound and no trace of root or flower.
Okay.
Isabeau will just say he's cool for a hellhound, and I'm really concerned.
And you do notice you've met Isabeau before, she does look visibly different with sharpened teeth and orange in her eyes.
Well, he seems fine. You've done something with your hair, I'm sure.
She'll like touch her hair. I showered.
That doesn't sound right. But that's he might just need some rest, to be perfectly honest. Nothing seems zombie-like.
I'm not worried about the zombie. I don't think this has anything to do with his zombieism.
Oh.
We haven't really had a chance to talk, have we? Cal is not from this plane. He's not human. He's a hellhound. I have fire because he has had fire. I don't normally have these, and I don't understand what's going on. This isn't normal. Could you help? I just threw a lot at you. I'll give you a moment.
I can try. I have a certain area of expertise. I think he'll. I imagine that he was kind of kneeling near where Cal was. He'll just kind of slowly like hurt his way up to standing again.
I'll just fill him in on what Oak and Darlene and Lucy told me. Like all of it.
I feel like this was more Gertrude's area of research. I don't remember much of anything of that. But that doesn't mean we can't try to figure something out, right?
Anything is better than doing nothing.
That's the spirit. And I'm very much familiar with being lost and confused about not sure what to do. That I get. I understand that, and he'll just kind of pat you on the shoulder. We'll figure something out. Something.
Thank you. He's very important to me.
Then we'll for sure figure something out.
Where do we start? What can I do to help you?
Well,
this is a lot I just threw at you just waking up. You can take as much time as you need maybe not too much time. I don't know if this is going to be like a permanent thing if he stays out. I don't know. Well, I don't know a lot of things. And that's present every single day.
Well, we probably should start down. Did someone get the door open? I tried for a long time.
Oh,
Darlene just looks at Oak, raises a hand like, you want me to?
I think it's open now. Y'all went down there earlier.
Yeah. Is it shut again?
Did one of you shut it?
No, I think we've opened
It's
it
open.
since then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still open then.
By the way, is Hektor still holding that syringe of eyeball juice?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's just like in his hand.
Do you mind if I ask, what is that?
I believe this is part of the cornea of the giant zombie stag. I was going to do some. I was going to look at it, and he'll stick it back in his pocket.
Were you gonna do some magic with it?
No.
Oh, because
no?
that's what I use.
Oh, so points towards Oak.
I do more with the blood.
Hector. Oak holds up Uncanny X-Men 101, which is the issue where they introduced the Dark Phoenix, and I just hold it up and I point to the comic. They set it down. This is Darlene. I mentioned her to you.
Dark Phoenix to his storm.
Don't know what weather-related things and birds have to do with that, but it is nice to officially meet you again.
Hector doesn't do magic, Darlene. Yeah, I think he does science.
I mean, some would argue that science is also magic, but I've also seen you fly, so.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just manipulating the laws of physics.
I like her. So, to start,
I mean, I don't know exactly how or how and why it works, but I know it does.
Hector gave me a speech in the woods about how I use too much magic and I'm, a danger to myself or something like that.
Now, if you think that magic is just science, then what kind of a comment is that?
Oh, it's more about. It's not about having the magic that I perceive as a potential downside. I point towards Isabeau. Let's go do some reading. Begins to awkwardly shuffle from this conversation.
You want me to leave him up here?
I mean, he's just sleeping, right?
Yeah, I guess. Okay.
Darlene is just gonna place. Well, no, she goes to pat Oak on the shoulder and then remembers Oak doesn't like to be touched, and then says, Oak, do you think you use too much magic?
I think I use too much magic for a normal person. I think for someone who hunts monsters, I don't use enough. Because I'm not good enough yet, but I'm getting a lot better very quickly.
It's real easy to feel extremely outclassed in this line of work. So I hear you on that. But, You are good enough with your magic. Just the things that we're going up against keep getting stronger. Because we can handle more.
Every time I fail or every time a spell goes awry, I'm reminded of my first time using magic and how it ruined 3, 4, 5, 6 people's lives in a very short amount of time. It just spiraled. But this is what I'm here for. This is what I'm good at.
Well, are you doing more good than harm? And are the people who are caught in your wake, so to speak, do they know what they're getting into? Are they there of their own volition?
We've managed to avoid bystanders for now. But yeah, that's a good thought.
I don't really know. How much do you think Darlene knows about your first magic use, the one you're referring to?
I believe I would explain. I'd explain it to you if I haven't by now. I can't remember. I think Darlene might have been in a coma when I lore dumped, but.
Okay. So after hearing more about that, Darlene will say, "Well, Karen, do you think she knew what she was signing up for? I mean, not the details of how things turned out, but the risk, the general idea that there was risk involved."
I hope so. We didn't really talk about it much. We were just excited to try what we had discovered. I mean, first time you discover magic is real and that you can do magic. I mean, it's a pretty wild thing. I don't think we thought too much about it.
Well, it's not like you knew that was going to happen. You're no more to blame than she is.
Maybe.
And how you handle the things that are thrown at you, the choices that you decide to make. We don't really understand enough about the planes as it is, like the different areas that these things come from. I don't know much about where Karen was. Maybe some of where she was changed her, and maybe maybe she didn't have much of a choice, but if she did, she chose a path of vengeance against someone who didn't intend her any harm. And you can say impact matters over intent, and that's right. But at the same time, you both had agency in moving forward with that magic. You didn't force nothing on her. And just because you failed, just because it didn't work the way you wanted it to work, doesn't mean that you shouldn't practice magic. Look at you flying around like it's nothing. You would not have been able to do that then. I think you learned a very hard lesson. Bit off a bit more than you can chew right away. And you learned very early on that magic can have consequences you don't intend. But, I mean, what's the alternative? To not try?
really needed you, and I'm happy that you're back.
I'm sorry I was away for so long, sugar.
That's okay. I think in this line of work, a coma or two is par for the course.
And a few scars.
He'll touch like the part of the tree scar that like is creeping up. He's like, yeah. Would you like a hug?
You know, if you would like to give me a hug, I will take that. Yes.
Okay. And then I step forward.
But don't feel forced. And Darlene will return the hug.
Okay. I'm gonna go get my comics ready for Hektor.
You know, I don't know if Hektor is going to receive them well, but you know, I think he should at least get a chance to see what you're talking about.
Yeah. I'm gonna catch.
Now maybe he'll enjoy them.
Yeah. I'm gonna catch him up on pop culture.
How much does Hektor really know and understand about what we're all doing here? It seems like he's pretty in the loop.
I mean, I definitely ask him, but I think he's like acting on instinct, and he's learning as he goes. But when it comes to like, you know, who shot JFK or whatever, he doesn't remember anything. For like 30, 40 years.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like major memory gaps.
Like a memory skip. Like a leap across time.
Is there like remembers from here and then a blank and then on, or?
I think so.
That sure is weird. Not unheard of, but.
Yeah. At least he didn't have to live through Bush and Reagan.
A blessing.
I think Coke will fly away to his comics.
Excellent. What is Lucy doing?
During this time, Lucy was very intensely watching all of these exchanges, just like kind of leaning against the counter. And then I think once people disperse, she's gonna wait a beat and slink away toward. That's right. Slink away toward wherever Oak's room is. And is your door open?
Yeah, it would be left open.
I would knock.
Come in.
She'll like stand in one step and then slide over and lean up against the wall.
Okay.
Can I talk to you about something?
Yeah. Yeah.
And she'll like slide down and sit cross-legged on the floor. So, I know I've said it before that I've been mostly on my own without any connection at all for about 40 years. So forgive me if I fumble my way through this. I'm not really in a business that involves much talking or involves any kind of connection or family. The only family that I have are the silence and the secrets that I keep. That's it. And I I lost my mom when I was really young. Well, she technically lost me. And when Raphael left, and he said that I remind him of Mama, I felt a pang in my chest. And I can't identify it because I haven't felt anything in so long. I have forgotten what it feels like to feel anything at all. And I miss him, and I feel like I miss all of you when you haven't even left. And I don't know what any of it means.
I guess it means you're starting to care again. But, caring is a muscle. It's a skill. And you don't just learn to do it overnight. I'm sorry, you. Does it feel like when you look inward, you don't know what you feel?
Yeah, I don't. I remember feeling once, and I remember I was angry. I was an asshole to Micah, who's the only person I've maintained contact with over the years. And I slowly put walls and doors, and I atrophied. I had to detach myself. I had a job to do. And sometimes it got the better of me. And if I felt anything at all, I wouldn't have been able to do my job.
But now you have a different job? Or two jobs? You're not just shepherding people anymore, you're hunting monsters and destroying phenomena. And that requires being with others, because none of us can do this alone. Is that right?
I think so.
My aunt is she's a psychiatrist. She's actually a very famous, or was a very famous psychiatrist. And of course she never treated me, because that would be unethical, but she did help me sometimes when I was younger, because I didn't know how I felt. One of the things I learned is, if you don't know how you feel, you should ask yourself how you want to feel. How do you want to feel?
You can just make it up like that?
Yeah. I have a very similar feeling. A lot of times I look inward and there's nothing there. So I act like I've seen other people act, and eventually I gained a new feeling. It was trained out of you. You can train it back.
I don't know that I'm supposed to do that, but I think that I want to. I think it's there. I don't think I lost it, but I think I tried to snuff it out.
How do you want to feel?
I think that I want to be able to care for you all. I don't know that I can experience that loss again. But I don't know that you can care and not experience that loss.
I would agree. No, one of the laws of magic is nothing is for free. I think it's the same way with feeling. We will lose each other. Either we'll retire or some of us will die. But I don't want to do this with people I don't care about. Not anymore. I tried that approach for the first few years we were together, and it made me weaker. It made me less happy. Ever since I opened my heart to those around me, I'm stronger. And I'm happier. I think that's why I learned to fly. I found my happy thought.
Matthew.
So, if you're looking for advice, I would say, fake it till you make it, Lucy.
Well, okay then. Thank you.
Did this feel good?
Yes.
Was it helpful?
Intensely helpful.
There was a time I didn't know how to respond when people brought me their problems. So, I just started acting like my aunt one day. And now this is something I can do.
Your aunt sounds nice.
I miss her. I keep meaning, she's still alive, I keep meaning to give her a call, but... well, maybe someday.
Well, if you want to call her, I'd do it sooner rather than later, because everybody's time is limited. Everybody has to go at some point.
Yeah. Maybe I'll look at Isabeau and learn how to be brave.
I think there's a lot we can learn from each other.
I think so too.
Well, I appreciate this. Thank you for your time. If you ever feel like sharing any of your comics, I would not be upset.
I've got loads. Have you ever read Old Man Logan?
No.
It's really good. It's much better than the movie. Let me go get it for you. You'd really like it. And the movie was really good. I'm not saying the movie wasn't good, but like the comic's really good. Okay, here you go.
I will take that and awkwardly shuffle my way out of the room.
Okay. We fade down into basement team. What are Hektor and Isabeau and just the two of you doing in the basement?
Well, 100%. I would have brought Cal downstairs and like laid him out on like something so I could keep an eye on him.
Okay.
That's.
I would have
not let-
opened up the Lab, that's the word I'm thinking of. I would have opened it up and just let you, use the cot and put him in there. Empty my pockets of the syringe / if I still had any sort of guns on me, they would all go on my workbench.
That is very impressive.
Do you leave the door to your lab open?
Yeah, because we're just going to be down here, probably. Would the books that the others picked up and read, would they still be on like the large table that's out there?
Yeah, I don't think they put them away. They probably left it in a pile.
Okay.
Unless Lucy Librarian decided to put them back.
God damn it. Titch Librarian, here for you. Moses, what are you doing here?
I think I organized some of it. I don't think I got to all of it.
Okay. It's a little picked up. But there are still probably piles of the books they were looking at.
Okay.
I don't know how much help I'm gonna be.
Well,
kind of the blunt instrument. At least
well,
that's what they used to call me in school.
Listen. And he'll pull out a chair, and then he'll pull out a chair next to it, and he'll sit down in one of them and gesture towards the other one.
Sit down.
He won't pull any books or anything. He'll just kind of fold his hands in front of him, rest his shoulder on the table, and just turn towards you and say, "So, I don't know a whole lot about hellhounds. I'm not going to lie to you. My area of expertise," and he'll kind of just look around, "is in reanimation of sorts."
I do believe there's a head still on your...
Yes.
There's a head
There
from
is.
one of the
It would
zombies
also be on
your
the
thing.
on the work table next to
Yeah.
where I put the syringe.
And she'll just look over and go, I would say that this shocks me, but it really doesn't.
So when I say I want to try, it is I think I know a lot of things. But it will be new territory for me.
It's kind of new for me too. I don't think we've ever really understood what our connection was.
Well, that's an interesting place to start then. How did you two meet?
Oh, well, I used to be a medic, and I was kind of paired with the fire department. I was really good at just running into places. Maybe not so good at the medic part. I think I was just bullheaded, and that got me through. I got called out, me and my partner, to this huge structure fire. It was immense. It was like this abandoned apartment building. It was crazy. And we got there before anybody else did. And I heard something in the building. I ran into the building and I found him. He was unconscious, and I went and I grabbed him, and everything started to collapse. And we were falling. And I was trying so hard to kind of grab at anything around us to try and catch us, because it didn't even enter into my mind to drop him and try to save me. It just never occurred to me that that could have even been an option. And I just got to a point where it was just like, I don't know if I asked him for help or whether he just knew I needed help. And he reached out to me and he grabbed my arm. And I remember it burned. And I thought he was just holding on to me. But the next thing I knew, I was on fire. And my feet were on fire, and we were slowing down to the point where when we hit, it wasn't as bad as it should have been. And after that, it was just... I was able to catch on fire a little bit. And ever since we've been traveling, things have just gotten... I've gotten more. And I didn't think about it. I don't know if he was hiding it or maybe he didn't understand. It's not like we really have like a manual about what happened, but I've been getting stronger and he has been getting weaker. I have things that I can do now that I wasn't able to do when I first met him. Hell, I wasn't able to do anything before I met him.
I don't think that's entirely accurate.
I can finish a fight.
You had to get some kind of medical training to be what you were. You obviously know what you were doing.
It's more about just making sure you get them there quickly to the people who actually know this stuff, as opposed to, I can keep them alive. I'm not really good. I
want, as someone who also deals with the, well, living is a loose term, but do you think that that is not a useful skill, keeping someone alive?
If I was not for like...
Don't think of it in terms of your failure. That's always going to shade everything.
He's not waking up. How have I not failed? He's not waking up. I went with him. I stupidly thought I could keep him safe, and then he was trying to keep me safe, and now look at where we're at. Listen, I don't mean to debate the efficacy of my brain or my fists or which is more important or what's... I just want to figure out what's going on and make sure that he lives.
Well, you're good at that.
I mean, he's breathing. You're right.
How long have the two of you been traveling together? How long ago was that?
I was at 6 months?
6 months to a year.
Yeah. A little over 6 months. He was with me for a while, and then he wanted to go and try and find a way home because he can't get home. And so I figured I would go with him to help him. And really, I just didn't want him to leave. Didn't know it then, though. Thought he needed my help to keep him safe. He can be a little naive at times. Believes too much that he sees on TV. Way too much that he sees on TV. Golden Girls was a very fun time.
I'll take your word on that. It's exceptionally obvious to me, as you said, that you care deeply about this person. That goes without saying. I would presume, not having spoken to him too terribly much, that he cares equally as much about you. And I can't speak for him because I'm not him, but I don't think I would want you to be blaming yourself for his position if he in fact does care about you and want to help you as much as you want to help him. It seems like it was a choice at some point.
I know, I just... Life is messy, and love is hard.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I just... Oak was talking about how Cal may be sacrificing something to stay here. And that I made him want to stay here. And so sometimes I feel a little guilty. But then, I guess love goes both ways, huh?
Don't let that guilt take root. It will turn into a thorny vine that will choke the entirety of your life.
I've had my share of bad jokes. I don't really want another one.
You know, reach over with your consent and just kind of pat your knee. We have some reading to do.
Yep.
Just like grab a stack of books and just pull them over.
You can roll investigate if you're trying to study something specific. You have your teammates have gotten a lot from these books, but if there's something more specific you're looking for, I might be able to tell you.
I specifically I want to, perhaps without fully letting Isabeau in on it, I want to see if there's a way to change a hellhound into something a little bit more mortal.
Yeah, okay. Roll.
Oh, God.
Plus sharp. It's just a sharp, it's not investigate necessarily.
7.
Not failure. With the information they have given you previously that they have received from these books, and the information with like the binding between people, I think you, Hektor, would gather that the flow between these two people is going one way currently, and if you sped it along, that would make him more mortal.
Do I have the suspicion that it would it would basically just make him completely mortal, or would it destroy him if it was completely like if it was too quickly removed?
It would take some, I think it would take, based on what you know and what you've read and what you feel in the back of your mind, it would take, to manipulate this bond, it would take more than just science. It will take some form of magic as well. It will be a mixture of weird magic we'll go with that. Weird magic, big science. Combining those two things together.
I think about this time Darlene and Oak have finished up their conversation, and Darlene probably heads into the basement. The fresh cup of coffee.
Oh, you're just in time.
Am I?
Well, he'll gesture towards one of the other seats that are around. He's got like a small mountain of open books around him. One very specific book, but he's kind of, to the audience perspective, perhaps Isabeau's picked up on it, but perhaps not, made a small wall between them. A privacy wall.
She's not that smart.
Cool. Neat. Would also have like a notebook set up there, and would write something on the notebook and kind of rip it out and hand it to Darlene, and say, we were getting a little acquainted with each other, and I came across something interesting, and I thought that you and Oak could possibly look into something for me.
Is that so?
and on it would be basically like an annotated like the information that I got, and yeah, he would just kind of like look at you with like, oh, in big words, it would say weird magic big signs.
Well, I think I can cover one of these. Especially with Oak's help.
Okay.
Did you say that you've been in town?
3 days? 3 days. Recently. He'll turn back towards Isabeau. With the confirmation that you could probably do magic. You get the sense that he's not ignoring you. He is just exceptionally focused. He'd say, we might be able to do something sooner rather than later.
Hey,
We just
sorry, go ahead. Nope,
we
go
just
for
have
it.
to figure out how.
Hey, Keeper, I have a question.
Yes.
So, so Oak and Darlene and Lucy had discussed with Isabeau last time about the how if things progressed on its current course, and that we continue to essentially share essentially this life force, I think, or this bridge between Cal and I, that it was not going to be able to be like we couldn't keep that up, like it was going to eventually kill one of us. Or
I don't think you'd find out. I don't think a kill was ever directly said. It could. I mean, it might go that way. It also might go where you just shift to you basically shift to where you first met, where you do the opposite direction. The way the power is currently flowing.
But the way the power is currently flowing, it's flowing where
Where you'd be flipping.
Where we're flipping. Do I get the sense that at this point, is it like an all in or nothing for the betterment of us both to try and cut that? I'm trying to see how much I'm able to. I know.
I mean, as you all know, in being in this world, science and magic are very malleable and dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
There are near limitless options depending on how much you research, what you try to do, but everything will have some form of consequence.
Gotcha. I guess I was just taking in to. I was trying to kind of essentially be like, it seems that Isabeau now is more Hellhound than Cal is Hellhound.
Yeah.
And wondering if it's like one of those things where it's going to be more dangerous for Cal if she tries to reverse it back.
I don't think you have a sense it would be more dangerous. I don't think any of these seem more like doing something abruptly without proper research would be more dangerous. But
okay.
None of these options inherently seem like, oh, this is a bad option.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know if that was just something I was trying to pick a course of action and base my mindset off of that. But I'm also smarter than my characters, so there's that. So, Hektor, okay, so where do we start? I don't...
Well, it starts with a question for you.
Okay.
How badly do you want to be able to do what you're doing?
That's a good
Would
question.
you give it up if you were able to?
I guess it's tough. I don't necessarily say that I'm addicted to be able to do this. It's been nice being able to be helpful, I guess. Yeah, especially Cal. I didn't want to make him feel like I wanted to be able to say I was his partner. You know, I didn't want him to feel like taking me into so many situations was like a death sentence for me. I wanted to be able to take a punch as hard as he's able to deal one.
That's good to hear. So, my second follow-up question. If you did not have what you have currently, would you be willing to have something else instead?
Darlene gives Hector this very quizzical look.
Are you offering to turn me into the Hulk right now?
I might be.
Just like gamma rays or whatever. Like, would we
no.
put this back in Cal, and then you would just...
That's the theory.
I need you to talk to me like this is all new to me.
Okay. Well, the exceptionally simplified theory is if we're able to, gesturing towards Darlene, take the magic firepower from you and put it back into Cal, thereby making him back the way that he was, pre-fire things. And you're back to where you were. If you want to stay together, and as you said, not feel like a burden, I came across some notes that I left myself a while ago that would be able to enhance certain things in a person. So
I
that
wouldn't, like, not saying that it's super important, but it's kind of the only thing I have going for me. I'm not going to look like Deadpool, am I? You're not going to, like, I'm not going to look like a giant testicle.
not unless you want to.
I would prefer to...
Like I said, that's a really simplified
No, you're...
theoretical hypotheticals.
Might I interject real quick?
Of course, yeah.
Isabeau, what is your ideal situation? Your ideal outcome here?
Is it too much to just be like, I kind of wish we were both hellhounds and just live forever and do whatever and not have to worry about shit?
Okay, so that's like the ideal outcome for you.
Yeah, that's
And then-
like the
but-
dream. I kill things.
But
I get
do
to
you-
stay with Cal. He's safe. I'm safe-ish.
Now, I have a follow-up question to that, and that is, if you're both hellhounds, what about the responsibilities that come with being a hellhound?
Yeah, I try not to think about that. I'm not... Listen,
Because are you willing to take on those responsibilities if that's the price of that power?
If taking on those responsibilities means I get to keep the one thing that's important to me, I'll take chains.
So, your primary goal is to be able to continue being with Cal. And your secondary goal is to have some measure of power to be able to feel like an equal.
My main goal is always just Cal. That's
Right.
really it.
Okay. Okay. And to the best of your knowledge, Cal would choose the same. Hector, is there any way we could speak with Cal? Can we wake him up at all?
I mean, I
Can
could
we-
try to find I could, and he'll just kind of stand up and he'll walk into his lab and just start muttering to himself about the things that he could possibly do.
Electroshock therapy.
Well, basically, he's trying to find something that's equivalent to an adrenaline shot.
Yes. Good old epinephrine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just wondering how feasible it is to get Cal's, opinion on how to proceed.
Yeah,
We should know what he wants if we can.
roll some weird science.
Me? Some weird science?
Who, me?
Do you want me to try to help you? I'm not good at helping.
You're not good at helping. Well, I mean, if you would like to. What's the worst that could happen? It would not actually change anything based on what I already rolled.
Sure. Okay.
I got an 8. But I appreciate the offer though.
Let me pull up your weird magic.
My weird science.
Weird
science,
science magic. Well, we've
Science
established
magic.
magic and science are kind of the same thing
To
some people.
you pick one requirement. I pick a second one. Yeah, you can find like looking around and knowing the physiology as well as you do, and having worked on supernatural creatures before like this, it'll wake them up. It's going to not be 100% reliable, and it won't work exactly as you intended. Actually, no, I'm sorry. You get to pick one. I get to pick the second one. You pick one of them.
Is his heart gonna explode? Just alien pop out of his chest.
The old
Where-
John Hurt moment.
Where is
Seen
the
it 100 times.
It's weird science requirements. It's in the. Do you have it? It's in the Tome of Magic. I can read them off to you if you don't.
I don't have that.
It will either need something rare or weird. It won't be very reliable. It will take huge amounts. It will take a long time to work. It won't work exactly as you intended, or you'll need help to finish it. To get him out of this.
I think the ones that you suggested were the
Okay.
ones, yeah, that makes the most sense to me.
It won't be reliable, and it won't work exactly as you want. What does it look like?
So he is going to combine some more standardized medications with a little bit of that. He hesitates for a brief moment before putting just the tiniest amount of that that eye membrane from the stag into it, to kind of like, not enough, hopefully he hopes, to zombify an individual, but enough to, say, reanimate them just a bit.
Oh my god. Hector
It's fine.
so much.
It's fine.
There's going to be a little. I'm going to say you add in a little. Like there are a little bit more supernatural elements you add in other than just that.
Yeah.
For the side effects that are going to happen and the intentions that are going to happen. I don't want to make him a zombie. That'd be wild.
Yeah.
It'd be wild and terrible. Where do you inject them?
It would be, well, if it is anything similar to an adrenaline shot, it would be, actually, it would probably be in like the, I envision it more of a muscle stimulant as opposed to simply in the bloodstream. So he would just like stab it into the meaty part of his arm.
Okay. You do. And this liquid just kind of like you shoot it into him. You see his eyes shoot open, now more of an amber than orange. But he doesn't move. What happens is instead is you see a kind of a burnt sienna color emanates just all over his body, just glowing slightly. And then you see Cal's form, just straight burnt sienna, sit up while his body lies dormant. Just this glow.
What? Like an aura?
Yeah, like an aura
Like a
of
spirit.
him. Like it looks like like a spirit. It looks like just like him, like less features, but just this like orangish brown color sitting up while his body is laying down, eyes open. And he looks around.
Are you two seeing this?
Yeah.
How do you feel?
He looks
Cal.
at hey? And then he looks back down at his body, and then
So
looks at
I
you
would
guys.
ignore just that. This is a weird dream.
You're not dead, I promise.
Ah.
I'm
Looks
gonna
back
check
at the
him.
body again.
You're not really dead. Hi, we didn't really meet too much. I'm Hector. I've heard you're Cal. I've heard you're lovely.
Oh god.
You are not really awake. So in a weird way, this is kind of like a dream.
He looks very nervous. Where's Miss Lucy? Did she do this?
Cal, you're not dead.
She's upstairs. She's not involved with what just happened.
That was me.
Here.
That was me, and it's a little. The side effects work different.
Your corporeal form has a pulse, so that's good.
He looks. Is Isabeau doing this? Because he's going to be extremely nervous if he is.
Just give me a second. Can y'all just give me a second
Of course.
with him?
Yep.
Sure, sugar.
Cal,
will.
we were just trying to give you an adrenaline shot. And Hector's got weird shit. So, I think we're okay. Hi.
Hey. And he like, I think he tries to put out a hand, but it just passes through you. And he says, "You look a little different."
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you. I've wanted to talk to you so bad, and fuck, I just wish I could touch you now. I don't know if it was. Would you love me if I was different?
What do you mean?
To be honest, I didn't want to have this conversation because I know you're going to be mad. I was just going to do it. I know you want to go home because you're afraid of what's happening to me. And I didn't validate those fears when I should have. And now I played with fire because I didn't want you to feel like I was in danger. You were putting me in danger. I wanted to be your partner in crime. Hector thinks he could help us.
How? And we were partners in crime. For a while there, it was good for both of us, but I haven't done. I mean, from what I remember of however long ago that was, I don't know how long you've been under it. Whatever had me, I fought against it, but I just couldn't burn it out. I don't feel like I can protect you anymore, or even be out there like I was. Wham. Well, definitely. And he looks to his like ghost arm. Well, like definitely now, but
It's just temporary. I think there's a way that we can put back what I've been taking. And also give me the chance to be strong enough to still fight. But I didn't know what you loved more.
not your ability to fight. And that's not. I meant you couldn't do anything like that. But if things go back to the way they were, I have to go back home. I can't just stay here. It's been however long now, and we don't get like, what was that thing? Carson Daly. We don't get spring breaks. We don't get spring breaks as Hellhound. I would have to just be. I mean, I would have to go back, and I don't know what would happen afterward.
What if I could go with you?
I think he
Take
looks.
away everything. Take away the fact that you would think I was human. If I had the chance to go with you, could we do it?
I don't think anything like that has been done before. Is that what you want?
As crazy as it sounds, I just want to be with you. I don't really care in what capacity.
I care about you too, but I mean, I don't want to feel responsible for your entire life. If you end up not liking it there, or this line of work, or what the future may bring, I don't know what I'd do.
If it's never been done, doesn't mean it can't be. We
what
just
you-
have a weird daytime job.
You would want to give up everything. I mean, I don't know when we'd be able to get back or see your father. It's not like we have full control of what happens.
I think if my dad had the chance to have my mom back, he wouldn't hesitate. Fuck it. What's the worst that could happen?
Looks at his ghost arm.
Listen, okay, you sarcastic little shit.
Keeper, I have a question.
Yeah.
Would it be feasible to should we devise a way to speed this transference over to then transfer it into, say, a reanimated corpse, thereby making both parties mortal?
That, I mean, if Hector's thinking about that, that is another possibility.
Okay.
Things where if Hector can think it, he can do it.
I mean, everything will have, obviously, like I said, a lot of requirements and consequences, but most things are possible if you try. It's just, you might not like what happens afterward.
Ugh. Hellhound zombies. What could go wrong?
Used to be a hot boy, now he's a cold boy.
Ugh.
I'm pretty sure the zombie would just burn away.
Hector will, because of course he was listening to this whole conversation, would clear his throat. There could be a different alternative. You could both be mortal and stay here. Well, not here, but
Could we even go back to a normal life after everything we've done? Knowing what's
I mean,
out
that's
there?
up to you. There's other things that you can do. There's other things that you could learn. You don't have to shoot fire from your hands to be able to fight things. I cannot shoot fire from my hands, but apparently I've been doing this for a while. It's all about how you use things, not what you have.
I think he's thinking about it. I liked what I did. Not necessarily that I had flames, but I liked my job. I liked being able to travel around and help people. And take care of things that escape from the other side.
There's nothing to stop you from doing that. And also not being on fire.
It's kind of what we do.
It would just be different.
We just don't plain hop.
I get what he's saying,
Intentionally.
though. You're asking him to stop being who he is.
No. He is.
I think we just want to get a sense of what the possibilities are and what the two of you want. Because I think what you want informs what we attempt quite a deal. I mean,
It's a lot. You, pointing towards Cal, don't have a whole lot of time left like that. Probably. You two talk about it. Once you go back to sleep, come find me, pointing towards Isabeau. We'll leave you to talk. Yell really loud, though, if something else weird happens, though.
we'll stay
That's
real
okay.
close.
Mm-hmm.
Within earshot of a shout, but not within earshot of a quiet conversation.
Appreciate it.
For the kitchen, then.
I do need more coffee.
I just made a fresh pot, sugar. We should go get that.
Oh, good. No sugar for me, though. Thanks, though.
Nope.
I gotta
No
watch
problems.
And Cal looks back to you.
Yeah, that last one, putting you into a zombie sounds like a terrible idea. I'm pretty sure they would make movies about that.
I can't imagine that being a super solid idea. Once again, something that's never been done, but I am hard pressed to think of that ending well.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Having the whole white picket fence, normal life. I don't even know if I want that.
Would you rather have any gestures to like his body? Actually, I think he gestures to your teeth.
I don't know. I think that could be a little fun. Sorry, I was trying to lighten up the situation. Yeah. I'd rather have you. I'd rather have you whole than me. This is it. This is fate. As corny as it sounds, I am not letting you go, Cal, no matter how much you want me to.
You're sure this is what you want, and I can make no promises and guarantees.
Will you promise to just love me?
I do.
That's enough.
And
The
you
rest
see,
we'll figure out as we go.
you see you see the energy, that burnt sienna energy, begin to not willingly, just slowly begin to fall back into his corporeal form. And he reaches out a hand for you, a ghost hand. And it passes through as he falls back into his form and his eyes close.
Hektor! Want to make a monster?
Hektor can't hear you because he has really bad hearing and he's upstairs. But inside he would be cheering.
She'll walk upstairs.
Are Lucy and Oak in the main room yet? Or is Oak still in his room?
Oak is flying down using a minor wind cantrip to float comics around him as he floats over to Hektor. He says, "Hektor, where are you?" Well, he goes, Hektor, where are you?
And start Hektor walking upstairs. She just kind of looks at Hector and says, a zombie? You want to put him in a... Oh, hi, Oak!
Sorry. Restate what you just said because my headset cut out.
Oh, no. I just said Darlene and Hector are walking out into the kitchen, and Darlene just looks at Hector and says, a zombie? You want to put that boy into a corpse?
It's an
Hi, Oak!
option.
Options.
Oak, is this how you read?
I stop. No, it's how I carry things. And then I'll float the comics over to Hektor. Like this, she'll catch you up on Storm's arc and Dark Phoenix's arc.
How many books are currently floating towards Hector?
Well, they're not, but they're comics. It's about 30,
How many comics?
About 30.
Oh, okay.
Good weekend's worth of reading.
They're quick reads.
You
Out
know,
of pictures, because it's the nature of comics.
I appreciate. I'll put that on my to-do list.
I think I could use magic to read, though, like really fast. I'm absolutely certain I can do that.
I believe that's possible. I've never tried it. I've never thought of that. That's a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of being magically inclined, I have a proposition officially to ask of you, Darlene, but of both of you. I need your help figuring out a way to progress the transference of power between Cal and Isabeau. And it will for sure take magic and for sure take science in some strange capacity together.
Correct me if I'm wrong here, but isn't what you're actually going to be attempting to do, if Isabeau wants to also be a hellhound and Cal is a hellhound, won't we have to increase the magic on the one end? Because if it's a balance, then
here's the thing. I don't know if it's possible for them to both be hellhounds. I can't make that happen.
What?
I could purge one over the other, or potentially.
But what if we balance the stream between the two of them and sever the link?
They would both be half a person?
And half,
I don't know the ramifications of that.
And half hound.
Right.
Then they can develop on their own, just like we have.
Right. It gets a little fuzzy in the area of that pull he kept feeling to go back home. If that's constantly there, lasting side effects are unknown. Well, much like a lot of things are also unknown. This is a new for me.
Did anybody talk to Isabeau about what it's like to have this kind of job? Like Lucy just appears out of nowhere.
I would imagine that's Cal's department, since he knows the job. I don't know what exactly they have spoken about, but that is a very good question.
I think she knows. How could you not?
She walks in. I know what I'm getting into.
Because love blinds you.
You don't know until you're here. You don't know what it's like to have a job that you actually can never say no to. You don't know what it's like when you have to do these things, when there is a compulsion and a pressure that you absolutely cannot ignore at any time. You could be in the middle of doing something wonderful, and suddenly you gotta go because your job calls. And that's fine if you want that, but make sure you know exactly what you're doing, because you actually won't know what it's like until you're there. So if you're willing to take that risk and he's comfortable with all of this, then it's obviously your choice. But it's always good to know what you're doing. And we can explain all day long what it's like. But you won't know really how strong it is until you're there.
I understand that. And
Do you feel it at all now?
do I?
Roll plus weird.
Oh, all right, sure. Weird shit. 10.
I think you feel some strong pull, but it's still currently indiscernible.
Little. I know this is going to sound I don't really know what I've been doing. Went to school. I was good at one thing. Checking the people on the other team. Making sure they stayed in line. If they hit one of ours, I hit two of theirs. Like, that was just what I did. When I went out, I just wanted to help people. I didn't want to just keep hitting. And so I became a medic. A shitty one at that, but a medic nonetheless. I don't know what I'm doing. For the first time. It's the only thing that makes sense. It's stupid. It's rash. It's impulsive. And I'm going to do it. Because this, and she'll gesture at everybody, him, that's fucking worth fighting for. I don't really care what it's going to do to me physically. So I get to walk through life with the love of my life and purpose. Even if that purpose is governed by something else, I saw what Cal and I stopped when he came over. I saw what it was capable of doing, and we stopped it.
So you don't want to become a full hellhound? Because you don't fight monsters when you're doing that job.
You do.
Yeah, I do. That's literally his purpose.
Yeah.
But not... Okay.
Oh.
Not with us, is what I'm saying.
Oh.
Correct.
I mean, our paths might cross occasionally, but it wouldn't be what we do now.
It wouldn't be this.
But it could be.
No.
No, not the way, not if you're both, being carted off and doing other things. But, I mean, like I mentioned before, it wouldn't be fire, probably.
Isn't that currently sort of a state of flux already, though? Because can't Cal not return at the moment?
Ty, have I figured out why he can't return?
Is it because he's losing his power and abilities?
As soon as I think you knew it during that very first session with your characters. As soon as some of the power was transferred to you and you were able to do that fire stuff, he could no longer create portals back the way he was in the beginning. So he's never been able to get back home. And that's why you started journeying, traveling different cities, seeing if you could find any information about how to do so.
So without Cal at his full capabilities, or you at Cal's full capabilities, there's no doing that job because you're not creating those doorways.
That's why we've been traveling. And just on the way, he's been doing what he's known, which is leveling the playing field.
Hypothetically, if we create a balance between them, sever the link, like Oak was saying, there's no ability for them to go back. There's no expectation, maybe, for them to do that job, unless someone comes a-calling down the road, which we can't really foresee because we don't really know enough.
I don't know. We haven't been here. He hasn't been here. I mean, he's been here for a while, but he hasn't been here for people.
Sure, someone will come looking for him eventually,
Yeah.
but at that point, maybe they'll have more information and more capability to do something about the situation than we do. Right now, with what we know, what we can do, what do we think? Balance and sever?
I don't know if that's as much as I want that to be true and I want it to be that simple. I don't think it is, because for a while before here, before now, it's been balanced, and he still has that calling. I don't know what severing it would do. I don't think it would. I don't know how to explain it. I just have this feeling that it just, if it were that simple, then we would have found
There is
balance.
nothing simple about the
Yeah.
about the actual
Nothing is simple.
balancing and severing. Like, that is not actually simple.
So
Like if you have a scales, right, and you balance out the scales, and then you sever what it balances on, it's no
And then-
longer balanced. It's just, and it's no longer useful. It's no longer what it is. It's
That's what I'm concerned.
More of think of it more of two orbs, like one has all the energy and there's a conduit leading to the other, and this is powering that one, but slowly the energy is being siphoned off fully into this one. Instead, balance them so they both glow with the same amount of power, and then get rid of the conduit.
Here's the problem with that, though, is then you have two entities, orbs, individuals, who are currently half of what they were. And
Well, half and half. One gains half mortality, I guess, if you want
I
to
don't
look at
think
it that
we can
way.
Arnold Palmer our way out of the situation.
So you want to be a monster?
I want to be his monster.
Welcome to the team.
Yeah. But I don't know what capacity that is. I mean, Hector, you're talking about how either we can make him full hellhound and me something, but I don't really understand. I don't really understand the science of it. I just
No one.
This is
No
what
one.
you-
Does.
would it come for you to know that I don't really understand the science of it either?
It doesn't. It really doesn't.
The magic and the science that we're about to do is going to do what it's going to do, and that the truth is that only so much of this is in our hands. The best we can do is try and see what happens.
Right.
That's the truth.
Maybe there's enough of him and me. I
Let-
came out dirty. That's
Let's.
not what I. That's not what I meant.
Do you
I
want
mean,
us to?
it's-
Do you want us to try?
Yeah.
Then let's try.
I want us to both be whole, and I want us to both, I guess, just leave it in the hands of fate.
You'll be lucky if you get one of those.
Yeah.
So we're going to try to make her a hellhound.
Hector, what are we doing?
As a player, I just want to clarify. Does Isabeau want to be a hellhound, or does Isabeau want to be something else and give Cal all of the hellhoundsness?
I think she
Or something
wants
else.
Cal to be able to be himself again.
Okay.
I think she is naively dreaming that she too can hold on to whatever might be left in her to also bring that forth and become one like him.
That is what Hector wants to try to do. Hector may, at some point, during the process, try to, what's the term? I don't know what the term is. Basically take some of Cal's, I guess DNA is a word.
Extract.
extract is the perfect word. Basically, try to extract something to then some sort of like hellhound essence, if possible, either from Isabeau or from Cal when Cal is back to a hellhound, and then during whatever transformation process that takes place, make Isabeau enough of a hellhound that should they choose to, they could, still travel together. That is what Hektor wants to try to do.
Can we get the
Does that make sense?
Can we do the essence of hellhound and just
Old Spice Hellhound edition?
Old Spice hellhound.
You're gonna
Straight on.
You're gonna make one of them straight whiskey. You're gonna make the other one Jack and Coke.
Pretty much, yes.
But both,
Yep.
both things will be full, so you can't.
Yes.
There's nowhere for it to go.
Correct.
Hektor, without first of all, extracting the essence of how, I think we're at this point now that you all have some sort of plan of what to do. I think everyone's kind of split off a little bit and do some research and take a little bit of time. Hektor, you find out first that's not a thing you can do for sure.
Neat.
That would be something
I don't tell anybody.
Yeah, that would be something you would need some sort of magic assistance to do on your own using your the ability you have. I don't remember the name of it. The one we're basically talking about.
I can make you stronger.
I can make you stronger.
Yeah.
On your own, if Hektor was to not have any sort of magical help to do that, it would basically, at his best, you'd be making in close proximity. Let's say we were talking about vampires, for example. You wouldn't be able to make a Dracula. You'd make something closer to the blood disease from American Horror Story Hotel, something that's close but doesn't quite match up entirely.
Okay.
Using the magic with these two other people, you could probably get a little closer.
Okay. Okay.
Is what you find in your research.
My research. Okay.
What are the other two of you doing for kind of research? Darlene and Oak together. Let's talk about how everyone kind of prepares for this.
Well, did Hektor need assistance trying to gain some sort of essence to study?
Yes. Once he figured that out, yeah, he would go to the two of you and be like, "Hey," but also Isabeau. But also would go to Isabeau because right now Isabeau is the most hellhound thing around.
Sure, absolutely.
And it would be a lot easier to, gain consent from a conscious person.
We just say is Kaya is the player. This is by far the most exciting thing.
That's what I'm saying. I'm so ready.
As soon as I was like, I don't fucking care. We're doing this.
Yeah.
This is a horrible idea.
Yes.
I'm in.
Welcome to Hektor. Full of horrible ideas.
I love it so much. Maria and Hektor. You, she, him, they. I love you.
I want Oak and Darlene to roll investigate.
We're both
Not
rolling
use
it.
magic?
No, for sure. We're not doing the ritual
This is
curse.
research.
No.
We're doing some.
I thought I was helping with magic to get an essence of the thing to study.
No, that is not a thing you want to do.
Okay. I'll read.
We gotta figure out that we can do that and how to do it safely.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I'll read.
Safely.
Okay.
Safe enough.
I would say I would help, but I feel like that would be worse for me.
I think during this, because like I said, this is going to be kind of a period where everyone's going to kind of get ready for this ritual, which will probably happen next time. But what is everyone doing to kind of prepare for this? Oak and Darlene have to research.
Oak, I could kiss you.
13.
Very good.
Nice. I got an 8.
Good. I mean, you didn't. Well, it really was one of you. You're both rolling for it. Oak, you find that, with Hektor's research, I think you guys are, you're probably in the main room with Darlene, Hektor's in his lab, and you guys are kind of exchanging information on occasion. For this current plan to work, your and Darlene's job would be to carefully siphon off what Isabeau has and transfer it back to Cal, and hopefully in the right amount, where maybe you give her a little bit, just the tiniest drop, while Hektor is performing these surgeries to change Isabeau.
Oh my god, is it like Hercules where they
Yeah, it's similar to that.
The last drop.
Alrighty, I would present my findings to the team, to everyone, but especially Darlene and Hector.
So for this is a, like I said before, big science, weird magic. The things I am requiring is you will for sure need to use magic, both of you, to complete this ritual.
Mm-hmm. I got a plus.
There is a specific danger, but we've mostly talked about it. But there is definitely danger doing this.
Yeah.
And the last one will be. It's taking a little bit of time for you guys to read. It's not going to be something you're doing tonight. It's something that's going to take a little bit of time for this research. Maybe tomorrow, but it's taking a little bit of time. Mm-hmm. Hector, your requirements for weird science. Roll it up.
Oh, God.
I'm really good at big magic.
Okay. Plus weird, yeah?
Yeah.
11.
Cool. You pick 2 requirements. And the lists are, it needs a rare or weird material. It requires huge amounts of power or fuel. It won't be very reliable. You probably don't want that one. It will take a long time to get working. It won't work exactly as intended. Or you'll need help, which is, that would be the most that makes sense. The other one you can pick.
I think, yeah, for sure need help. And for sure would ask Lucy to help. I think the first one, the one that it requires something like weird, yeah.
What weird thing does Hector? Actually, before we get to that, what Lucy, how are you helping, or how are you asking Lucy for help?
One of the things, and I don't know if this technically falls under that category, is basically making, like, being our alarm if, you sense that they are about to, like, die. So we need to just stop.
Lucy just, didn't go well. I'm taking this.
I'll be right back.
I got it. I'm sorry.
Shit. You gotta make a quick run. Together forever in a pocket dimension.
Mm-hmm. But I think just during the procedure, basically just acting like a surgeon's assistant, because he has 2 hands and he's also old.
Oh, bubber.
Really just making sure that the things are around that grabbing things in case of an emergency, things of that nature, as well as probably what will happen is sometime during the procedure we'll actually need to have like hands-on.
Yeah.
As you know.
Yeah. And Isabeau, what are you doing with potentially the last day or 2 days in this form? Or night? And maybe alive, depending how this goes.
Yeah. Does Nana's have a landline?
I'll say you have a brief moment of clarity where you can make a call, sure.
Okay. Do phones just not work in Hush Hallows? Like no
Typically
phone
not.
Basically like
at
a dead
all?
zone.
Like no
Yeah.
landline, no nothing?
Not
We're just totally
no.
cool with that? That should be our next mystery, why people don't care about not having a phone.
The keeper doesn't want them to work.
Correct.
It's a weird place.
I think she just wants to give a call to her dad.
Okay. Would you rather have a conversation with him or leave a message?
I think I'm just gonna leave a message.
Okay.
He's not a big phone talker anyways. Hey, it's me. I know it's been a little bit since I checked in. Sorry, I'm at it's a really cool place. It just doesn't have a lot of signal. I just wanted to call and let you know that I love you and that it might be a little bit before I get to see you. But know that I am safe and I am happy. I hope you are too. All right. Bye, Dad. Actually, off the phone.
Okay. Hektor, it is about 3 a.m. as you are like knee deep in research. Your drawers, like the drawers and cupboards of your lab, are thrown open as you are looking for whatever material, like strange materials or equipment you will need to do this specifically. And you notice a small manila envelope that has your name written in beautiful calligraphy.
That's not my handwriting.
For sure, no. Yeah.
Is it like tucked away somewhere? Or
No,
is
it fell out. You opened it and it fell out.
Oh. Do I recognize the handwriting at all?
You can roll fractured memory if you'd like.
Always like to roll that one. It doesn't look like Gertrude's handwriting, right?
I don't know if you remember what that looks like.
I have a note.
Oh, right. Then it does. Yeah, it looks
Hey!
like.
All right.
Yeah. And it's kind of bulky. It's a manila envelope, but a little bit bulky.
He'll pick it up and go over to the bed, because the workbench, I'm sure, is full of just everything. But yeah, he'll sit on the bed and open it up and see what's inside.
There is a tape recorder and a couple papers.
Statement begins. Okay. Is there a tape in the tape recorder?
Yes.
Is it labeled?
It says Hektor.
Oh. Okay. He will close the lab door and then go back to the bed and turn it on while he's looking through the papers. Kind of let it playing while he's looking through everything.
And you hear a recording.
Hey, Doc. If you're hearing this, you finally woke up. But, it also means I'm not around anymore to say hello. I'm sorry. Inside this envelope is my will. I'm leaving Nana's fat slabs and everything inside to you. A little bit of money, too, but, this place was never exactly a cash cow. During all our years hunting together and fighting the good fight, the one thing I never thought I'd have to prepare for was being this alone. It's much harder than I thought it would be. During whatever time you have left, Hektor, I hope you find happiness. I've missed you.
And that's where we'll end tonight.
Oh, no.
Fucking fuck.
Thank you for joining us in this excited, drama-filled episode of Hush Hallows. Let's go around and say their name, where we can find you, and your favorite moment. Let's start with Matthew.
Hi, folks. I am Matthew Foreman. You could find me here on Twitch TV/Dice Priori. You can also find me on Dice Priori's Discord. My favorite moment, gosh, good God, what an episode. Terrific stuff. What a terrific time with friends. The sound effects, gotta give it up. Gotta get it up for the tape and the use of Roll20 and just doing that, taking the DGMing to the next level. Folks, good job, Ty, and what a great episode. Emma.
Hello. Let's see. You can find me on Twitter at MK Hansen. You can find me here on Tuesdays. You can occasionally find me over at Mythos Mystery Society. We have a game coming up Labor Day weekend.
We also have one this weekend.
We also have one this weekend.
We are in Paranoia this weekend.
That's right. Forgot about that. So join us there. And let's see. My favorite. Well, I was gonna say the GM sound effects. But I think I really I enjoyed sitting back and watching the hunters talking to one another and like slowly opening up and trying to figure things out for each other instead of worrying about some big monster that it was now dealing with just us and our shit. That's why I enjoyed this episode a lot, that we like slowed way down and could just unpack some shit. Kaya.
I clicked mute 3 times. Hey everyone, I'm Kaya Gasson. I play Isabeau. You can find me on Twitter at Crit Charisma. Very rarely ever on it. Just post pictures of my dogs. I only live here, and I'm very happy about that. Favorite moment of the night would be Hektor turning my boyfriend into a ghost with eyeball juice. Like Maria adding in like that little flavor, like, oh, that makes sense. Let's put a little reanimation juice into this. I was like, fucking genius. Just, I'm so happy you're back. I missed you terribly. Hektor, I love you. Well, then we might as well just go to Hektor then.
Oh, hey, it's me. I'm both Hektor and Maria. You can find Maria here and also on Twitter at Happy Capster. Also at Society Goblins, which is full of all the things. Less things right now. We're kind of in a weird transitional flux thing. But stay tuned. We're working on stuff. There's lots of things happening over there. Also, find me on Mythos Mystery Society with a lot of these people this weekend with Paranoia, and then up and coming soon with more fun shenanigans. Also, on Thursday from noon to 3 Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to be on Thread Raiders as part of JasperCon, big convention over the next couple of days. That is for charity. We're playing some Dungeons and Dragons. I'm going to be playing a teen wizard, doing some shenanigans and stuff. But it's all going towards a bunch of different causes. JasperCon has their own Twitter. You can do research on there. I don't know the specifics of it, but I do know that they deal with helping raise money towards suicide prevention, specifically in teens and young adults. So it's really, really great. Come and see that. My favorite, there was, I have to remember which of the 2 conversations really hit home. I think it was between Lucy and Oak. That was really, really good. And I kept thinking to myself, like, oh, but that hits a little too close to home there. Those words they're saying, so good, but so sad. But it's to echo kind of what Emma was saying, just the conversations, being able to like listen in to all these like in-depth conversations was beautiful. Very good. Alexis, you haven't gone yet. Go.
Hi, I'm Alexis. You can find me at Vox Fanato. And I live here on Dice Priori, where you can find me on Tuesdays and occasional Fridays. More in the future as I continue to recover health-wise. Stay tuned on socials to see what I'm up to in the near future. There's some stuff coming down the pipeline, I think very soon, so that's going to be fun. And my favorite moment was going to be Oak, I found my happy thought. But since that convo, Maria got that one, I will say I also really enjoyed I really enjoyed getting into like the nitty-gritty of we're about to do a ritual, like a big ritual that's going to have big implications, and like just discussing like what the goal is for the ritual and getting that hammered out and figuring out how to go forward with it. I'm really excited about this ritual. And I also really liked Darlene's conversation with Oak. I'm glad that they got to have a little moment together because, Darlene missed out on a lot in just a few short days. So, and I'm looking forward to filling Hektor in on the fact that Raphael is gone.
Yeah, I kept thinking about a moment to like bring it up, being like, "Hey, where's the pamphlet guy?" And it never came up.
Pamphlet guy.
I think in my headcanon, like Darlene just doesn't know that Hektor and Raphael were like knew each other.
Yeah.
And also like Hektor, I think, has been so focused. It probably like it's reasonable for that to have not occurred.
Yeah. Do we want to do end of session stuff before we fully wrap it?
Sure. Conclude the current mystery. Nope. Save someone. Not yet. Learn something new about the world. I don't know if you learned anything about the world this time in particular.
You learn that you could stick eyeball juice into somebody and makes them a
I
ghost.
learned how to make a temporary spirit.
Sure.
Yeah.
And did we learn something new and important about the hunters? Yeah. So you get 1 experience each.
I have advanced.
Yay!
Oh,
It's something that would be really devastating for everyone.
Yeah, I'll sit on that. Ty, did you want to say your?
Sure.
Bye.
I'm
Yeah.
Ty. You can find me at Ballroom Brawler on Twitter, at Mythos Mystery Society, where this weekend we are finishing our trilogy of Paranoia, a very silly sci-fi game with Emma and Emma. We are going to be Rhapsody of Blood at some point soon. We have 2 episodes that should be up on YouTube and podcast pretty soon. It is Castlevania inspired, perfect for this spooky season. And my favorite moment from tonight, I think just the whole, like, there are a lot of options. None of them are great, but it's just kind of what you guys want to do and deal with whatever happens afterward. I like moral choices. I think they're very enjoyable to watch.
Awesome.
So that whole thing.
Yeah, what a terrific episode. Okay, folks, we are going to go ahead and rate someone. We're going to go ahead and throw the dice. There is a channel called Time to Tabletop. We're going to go ahead and send the love there. And keep it within the tabletop family. Make sure you are following the channel and subscribe if you can. Make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube, which is just like following on Twitch. Follow our socials. Please support Dice Priority as we continue to bring tabletop content and offer a refuge in very difficult times. Thank you so much, and go show some love to Time to Tabletop, and let us know what you thought of them. Bye. Okay. They're gone.